A lot of money being spent over here, I can tell you that. A lot of money. People in the US or other countries think that Mexicans are poor. Mexico is a poor country. Think again. Think again. I couldn't take it no more, so I left the matrix.
And my money just tripled. I had a good time and it cost me a little. So I found peace, tranquility, faith in my abilities.
I couldn't fake no more, so I left the matrix. What's going on, people? This is Profegayo, showing you a little bit here of Mexico and Puebla while I take this nice stroll this evening. So, Mexico. I've been in Mexico now. It's been about 5 months, and I haven't really gone and visited around Mexico yet. I'll be doing that at some point. So basically, I've only been between here in Puebla and Mexico City, which is only a 2.5 hour difference. Now, in the past, I visited other parts of Mexico, right? I've been to Cancun a few times, Veracruz, and that's just about it. But I'll be visiting more Mexico shortly. So what have I learned in the past 5 months? One thing is, Mexico was a lot like the US in some respects. After being in the Dominican Republic, in Ecuador, Brazil, one thing I have noticed is that Mexico is very developed, and it has a lot of the same restaurants and stores and franchises from the US. And also, some of the mannerisms of the people here are similar to those of the US. Like, one thing I noticed here that I didn't see necessarily in Ecuador or Peru or Dominican Republic is, if you're in, I don't know, if you're walking down the sidewalk, just like I'm walking down the sidewalk now, and say if there's a crowd of people crowding the sidewalk. Here in Mexico, they'll actually be aware of their surroundings, and someone will move out the way for you so you can walk by, right? But if I were in Ecuador or the Dominican Republic, I would have to walk around them or say, excuse me, permiso. Right? And that's one thing that I noticed in Mexico, which is similar in the United States, where they actually, are aware of the surroundings and will, are polite in that way. But at the same time, Mexico is Latin America, where people are pretty friendly for the most part. And what I've noticed here in Mexico, for the most part, people are very friendly, right? People are very friendly. They'll talk to you. Get across the street here. They'll talk to you, have a conversation with you. They're interested in why you are visiting or why you are living in Mexico, especially in Puebla, where Puebla doesn't get a lot of foreigners or a lot of tourists, as opposed to some of the beach cities like Cancun or Mazatlan or Puerto Vallarta or Los Cabos, or maybe the big city like Mexico City, right? So Puebla doesn't get a lot of foreigners. It doesn't get a lot of expats and tourists and stuff like that. But that is what makes people very interested in why people would want to move here, right? So that's one thing I found out about this area. But generally speaking, I mean, because there's not a lot of black people, well, not a lot, there's not really any black people here in Puebla, even though this is the 4th largest city in the country. There's not a lot of black people here. And every black person I met here has either been from Venezuela or Brazil, Haiti, but not necessarily Mexican, even though they have a large population of Afro-Mexicans in the southern coastal part of the country. You won't really find them here at all. But so basically, I would get a lot of stares here. People would definitely stare, definitely see, but not stare in a way where I get stares, and maybe you get stares in Asian countries. Here, they're still respectful with their stares. So if you catch them staring at you, they'll look away, right? Where in other places I've been to, it's like they've seen a ghost. Here is a plaza right here. So just to give you all an idea where I'm at, this area, Puebla, is called Angelopolis, and this area is one of the more expensive areas, and well, the most expensive area in the city, where a lot of the upper middle class to rich folks live and shop at, right? We have a lot of the big box stores like Home Depot, IKEA, Walmart. There's a huge mall and some other plazas that are really upscale condos and upscale villas, neighborhoods with single family homes. I mean, it's pretty, a lot of companies are headquartered here. It's pretty up and coming area. But what I really wanted to talk about in this video when I'm walking is the what do you call it? Is the residency process. And I hope you can hear me, because right now it's pretty loud with the cars going by. Probably wasn't the best area to walk by. But I really want to talk about the residency process here in Mexico. So a while back, I made a video of the first part, which took place in the United States, specifically in Texas. Where I booked an appointment through email at the McAllen, Texas consulate. Then about a month and a half afterwards, I had the appointment in McAllen. Flew out to McAllen, was there for a few days, had all my documents together, went to the appointment, got there about an hour early, was like in the building a half an hour early, was quickly seen, presented my documents, all was good, and I was out in about an hour. and they approved me of permanent residency. So immediately after that, the next day, I flew out to Mexico City. Then I took the bus out to Puebla because Puebla was one of the areas I was actually looking to move to. And that bus ride was only about 2 hours and a half away from Mexico City to Puebla. So got to Puebla. I gathered my documents. And the documents I needed was I needed to go onto the Mexican government website to submit a trámite. A trámite is basically an application or request for permanent residency, basically filling out that solicitud, filling out that application with the information from my visa that was put into my passport, as well as some other info. And I had to print out the solicitud after I did it. The solicitud, the application only took about 5 minutes to do online. Also, I had to make copies of everything. So I had a copy of my passport, the visa. I had a copy of the light bill of the Airbnb I was staying at. Because everywhere you go here, they'll want a proof of address. So I used that. I had a copy of the application, as well as I had to write a personal statement in Spanish, basically saying that I have enough money or income to support myself while requesting permanent residency here in Mexico. That was simply the gist of the personal statement. And that was essentially it. Yeah, that was it. And because each immigration office in each state operates differently, here in Puebla, they only needed for me to have my credit card, debit card, to pay for the application fee for permanent residency, which, by the way, was only about $5,000 or $6,000. I think it was like $6,000 or $7,000. I can't really remember. 6,000 or 7,000 pesos, and it doesn't expire. Mega Soriana. This is sort of like a super Target. It's the best way I can compare it to the United States. Let me walk on this side. Yeah, so that was basically it. And I arrived at the immigration office in Puebla. They opened at 9 o'clock. I got there at 7 o'clock, and I was the third in line when they open at 9 o'clock. And it was pretty fast. I had all my documents together and waited quite a bit. And I was out of there about 11 o'clock. I was walking out with my permanent residency. And to be honest, that permanent residency is worth it. And the reason why I say that is it doesn't expire. So even if I don't plan on becoming a citizen of Mexico, if I don't feel like being in Mexico that long to be eligible, at least I have that permanent residency that doesn't expire. So that's the really cool thing. And that was one of the main reasons why I decided on Mexico as opposed to some other places. So yeah, there you go. So it's a pretty easy process. I understand that some folks in other states in Mexico actually wait longer. For example, some folks do not receive their permanent residency card or temporary residency card the same day. They actually have to come back a week later or 2 weeks later. I've also seen that in some states, the wait time is longer, meaning you have to get there, not like me, where I got there just 2 hours before they open. Some place you got to get there the night before to actually get in for that day, because some immigration offices only accept maybe 30 people or 50 people a day. So if you're not one of the first 50, you got to come back another day, right? Not very convenient at all. There's the mall, that Angelopolis mall, which is the best mall in the city, of course. A mix of upscale and normal stores. Here's Office Max in Party City. And yeah, some immigration officers, you got to actually make an appointment online, which is another inconvenience. So normally I do about 5 miles, which is about 10,000 steps when I take these walks. However, today may be a slightly shorter walk because I wanted to film and show you guys a little bit of the area that I'm living in. So now I'm crossing the bridge so I can go across this road here, because this road here is pretty dangerous. Here you go, a view of the city. So even though Puebla may not be well known for tourism or expats, it is a popular place for international students or students in general. Because Puebla has amongst the best universities in the country. One thing I noticed too is Mexico was, at least Puebla, is pretty clean for the most part. Not a lot of garbage or littering. It's pretty clean for the most part. Especially this area of Angelopolis. Or the Angelopolis. Over there's Costco. Across the street. In this area, there's tons of restaurants and bars and things of that nature. Going across the street momentarily to get on that bridge. Again, that's the mall there. Some going up. So now you get a better view from up top, right? Give you a panoramic view from up top. So it's not a very clear day. Normally you'd be able to see volcanoes. There's two volcanoes on each side of the city, on the east side and the west side. And you can't really see them right now because it's not as clear today. Somewhat clear skies. And what's crazy is every once in a while, you actually hear the boom, boom, the explosions coming from the volcano, the active volcano, which is located on the west side of the city called Popo. And that volcano erupts daily, sometimes many times a day. And you hear it. It sounds like firecrackers, but more of a boom. A lot of construction over here. A lot of construction over here. There was, you see that that pyramid looking thing there? That was part of a Ferris wheel, but I don't know if they're either taking it down or doing maintenance. And this is a popular walkway where folks will ride their bikes, walk, run, etc. A lot of shops over here, banks, restaurants, bars, etc. A lot of money being spent over here, I can tell you that. A lot of money. People in the US or other countries think that Mexicans are poor. Mexico is a poor country. Think again. Think again. A lot of bars, a lot of restaurants, some banks. I definitely recommend if you want to be a frequent traveler here or living here in Mexico, open a bank account. It makes things so much easier. I got a bank account with BBVA. I'll be making a video on how to do that, open up an account. But I got a bank account with them, and I use Wise and World Remit to deposit money in my accounts. And yeah, the money gets deposited. With World Remit, it gets deposited within 5 or 10 minutes. With Wise, maybe about 30 minutes to an hour. But it is fast and cheap. World Remit, I pay $1.99 for each transaction, whether I'm depositing a few $100s or if I'm depositing a few $1,000s. With Wise, and maybe a little more, but still under $5. Puebla. And also what I see here, what I've been seeing here in Puebla, in Mexico in general, is that there's a lot of food truck type of restaurants where folks can come in and drive in and get their food instead of the traditional brick and mortar restaurants you'll find in most places. A lot of restaurants and bars, upscale restaurants and bars over here. Permiso. So the weather in central Mexico, like Puebla and Mexico City, Toluca, it's pretty mild. Where right now we're transitioning into the winter and it gets colder at nighttime, and colder I'm talking about under 10 degrees Celsius. So it definitely gets into the 50s, if not 40s at nighttime now, which is pretty cold for here. And during the summer, at nighttime, it gets down to about the 60s, maybe 50s. During the day, during the winter, about it gets to the high about 70 something, and during the summer, high about 80 something. For the most part. At the same time, I've also seen it too in the winter where it doesn't get past 60 in a day. So it definitely varies, but not that much. A lot of people hanging outside, enjoying a beautiful day. And here's the other side of the mall. And over here, there's another plaza. So City Market La Comer, as you can see ahead of me, is some of you have seen City Market in the Dominican Republic and other places. It's more of a upscale grocery store. It reminds me of being in the DC area of Wegmans. City Market reminds me of Wegmans in the DC area, where they actually have different stations where you can eat food and pick out meats and seafood and actually eat in as if it's a restaurant. So I'm going to wrap up the video soon. Just want to give you all an idea of the area. So for those of you who have an idea of Mexico as being poor and underdeveloped, I think I proved it with this video that Mexico is a first world country with a lot of the amenities that one would want in a first world country. And check out, free promotion. I'm using this actual device, DJI device I'm actually using right now. Both my mic and my camera. So I'm gonna do a quick stroll in this plaza here.
Abraham, obedece. Abraham.
So there you have it, a quick walk around of the Angelopolis, Angelopolis, Puebla area. I'll be doing more walking around videos, talking about whatever topic that comes to mind. But here is just a snippet of what Mexico looks like. Thanks for tuning in, Profe Gallo. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and comment. Peace.
What up, my people? Hola, mi gente. Gracias por tu apoyo. Da me gusta, sigue mi canal y comparte con toda tu familia. Thank you for supporting my channel. Please give it a like and subscribe and share with all your family if you enjoy my content. Peace.